Hi there, I'm Christian Reither of Curreen Capital, and on this channel I like to talk about advanced investing topics that I haven't heard addressed well elsewhere. Today I want to talk about a topic that I haven't seen addressed really anywhere, and that is what being a new parent does to your ability to make good decisions, and particularly investment decisions, because that's what I care about. And I would say that being a new parent has a dramatic negative impact on your ability to be a good investor. This is a temporary change, but that temporary might mean a year. So if you're already a parent, you might be nodding your head and being like, yeah, of course. But if you're not a new parent, you might be like, what are you talking about? Being a parent is a natural thing. My parents had me. They're not totally messed up. How hard can it be? I've got nieces and nephews. I know what it's like. I read this book. I've seen these YouTube videos or whatever. Let me give you some reasons why being a new parent would have an impact on your ability to be a good investor and on your ability to operate at peak performance in evaluating opportunities and making decisions. So first off, you're going to be sleep deprived, or your sleep will be at minimum messed up. So until the baby sleeps through the night, someone needs to feed and change the diaper of that baby every 2 to 4 hours, 24/7. It doesn't care. You can do 24 hours, no problem with that, but months of that, days of that, weeks of that, it starts to add up. And so if you're so lucky that it's not you doing all that caring for the baby, you might still be sleeping on the couch, which isn't the most comfortable place, and you're in a household with someone who is spending all that time, who is sleep deprived, who may well be irate and in pain, or just not very happy as a person, and living with someone who is sleep deprived and not that happy might not be the most conducive thing for making good decisions for you. So either you're sleep deprived or you're living with someone who is sleep deprived. Again, not so great for your decisions. Second thing that happens is your relationship with your spouse is dramatically different. Before you have a baby and after you have a baby, it is a complete change in your relationship with your spouse, and you can't really know how it's going to change before it happens. Neither one of you knows how you're going to respond to this dramatically new situation of having a new person in your home that you have to care for 24/7. So that's something big. Your spouse is probably the most important person in your life, and now your relationship with them has taken a dramatic change, and it's often a very negative change. It's just hard because you don't have as much time. One or both of you are sleep deprived, and you're both dealing with this dramatically new situation of having to care for this tiny little monkey who you love, but who really takes a lot of effort to take care of. So that's hard, and again, that's not something that helps you research, analyze, and make decisions. It just doesn't. It doesn't help you do all the things that you need to do to be a good investor. The third thing is you're processing. Even if you bury it deep down inside your stomach, you're still processing what it means to be a parent. And it is a huge change in your life. It's on par with moving out of your own parents' house and having that new freedom and responsibility that you got, all those years ago. But now you've got new responsibility and a way less, way dramatic reduction in your freedom as a person. And that, can be hard to process. I think a lot of investors that I know value their independence, so it comes as this tremendous shock to be like, I have no independence now. Where did that go? And it's like, that's not coming back for years. That can be a hard thing to deal with, even if you bury it deep down inside, like all your other negative feelings, right? So you're dealing with sleeplessness of you or your partner, dramatic change in the relationship with your partner, who is again one of the most important people in your life, and 3, this sort of existential questions of what is going on with my life? Vacations now are terrible. Weekends are no fun at all. My office is my sanctuary. I had a friend who told me he would go in and kiss his desk on Monday morning, and I was like, you are a terrible parent. And now that I'm a parent, I'm like, I I totally understand. I want to kiss my desk on Monday morning when the kids are at daycare. Like, hallelujah. Like, that is, thank God it's Monday morning, is like what you think as a parent. All these changes are, again, they're huge changes in your life, and they are not changes that are conducive to research, analysis, and decision making. It makes you a worse investor, and it's temporary, and there are things that will help you be a better investor. I mean, you're going to look at Graco and like all these other parenting companies in a completely, kid companies in a completely different way. But for the first few weeks, minimum, but probably the first few months and even the first few years, if you have multiple children, your ability to make decisions will be impacted negatively. So what do you do about that? You know this change is coming, but you don't really know how it's going to impact you. Like, it could be that having a new kid makes you more ambitious, more professionally ambitious, because you're like, wow, I got to make money so that I can pay for college, which is going to be like $50 million a year by the time, my kid goes to college. That might be the impact on you. Or you might be a parent who's like, wow, this is so meaningful for me as a parent. Like, look at this little nugget of love. Why am I spending so much time working on something that really doesn't matter? Like, you don't know how this is going to impact you until it happens. But what I can tell you from my own experience and from, reaching out to other investors is that this has an impact on basically everybody I've talked to. You just don't know what it's going to be. But I can tell you your ability to make decisions is probably almost certainly going to be negatively impacted for weeks and months. The recommendation I would make to you, the recommendation I wish that I could have made to myself 2.5 years ago before I became a dad, before I became a parent, is reduce your expectations for what you can accomplish. Respect the fact that you won't be able to make good decisions. I look back at the decisions I made in the first year of my son's life, and I'm like, flabbergasted. I made these rookie mistakes. I thought a company was a good business when it was almost certainly, obviously not a good business. I thought it was turning into a good business, which is A, something I've never demonstrated an ability to do, and B, patently false. And then I watered the weeds. Like, when results came in that were not so good on a couple of my businesses, I added to them because they were cheaper. Like, I know better than that. But when your brain is not operating at full capacity, that adult brain of yours is not the right tool to tell you how you're not operating at full capacity. Your brain is designed to tell you that you're always doing great, that you're always doing well. Like, if you're drunk, you're like, I'm awesome. Like, you don't make investing decisions when you're drunk, at least I hope not, and you shouldn't make investing decisions when you're addled, sleep deprived, thinking about what's happening with my relationship with my spouse, wondering these existential questions of like, what happened to my life and what do I want to be as a person now that I'm a new parent? Like, your brain is going to be messed up, distracted by those things, and you're not going to be able to make great decisions. Take it from me as someone who didn't make great decisions, and talking to some other investors I know, they also are not happy with some of the decisions that they made. Some people say that they had bad luck during that period. I think that we have worse luck when we are new parents, first 12 months at least, because we're not able to make great decisions, but we can't really see it because of, how our brains work, thinking fast, thinking slow type stuff. So, respect the fact that you're not going to be able to make great decisions. Expect that you won't be able to spend as much time on investment stuff. Like, certainly your nights and weekends are not going to be great times to do investing work. Like, I used to do a lot of stuff on nights and weekends. Those hours are no longer there. I'm either spending time with my kids or exhausted from spending time with my kids, and I just want to have a glass of wine and just watch something stupid and some explosions on TV. That's normal for the first few years of your kid's life because it's such an effortful thing to have kids. So respect those things. Ratchet down your expectations for how much time you're going to be able to spend learning new ideas and your ability to process new ideas. I would say for the first few months, just focus on the portfolio you have and maybe a few companies that you are really excited about and know well. Hopefully there's no major disaster that comes through that requires you to make new big decisions, because you're not going to be able to make them well. Like for me, the rules I have for myself are, don't make any major decisions unless it is straight down the middle. So for me, it's like, if there is a new spin-off that I definitely understand the business of, it's not a cyclical, it's not anything funky or weird, that I'm allowed to buy. But anything else, basically, I put that on the list for, I'll deal with that once my baby is in daycare and I can, spend some time on that. But even then, I have to respect the fact that I'm probably not going to be operating at 100%. And if it's not straight down the middle, I definitely know what I'm doing on this. I'm not doing anything new and weird. I probably shouldn't be buying it. And that's just respecting that there are no called strikes in investing, and you might be swinging at stuff that a year or two later you're going to be looking at as a real mistake to swing at that, and now you've got strikes. So congratulations. Being a new parent is a wonderful, transformative experience. It is a job that you will love. But it is also a big, big job, and it is hard, and it takes something out of you, and it is not conducive to spending more time researching, analyzing, and making good quality decisions. It might be for you, but this will be a big change in your ability to process things. And I would say, if you see signs that you're maybe not operating at 100%, like, I don't know, you're getting frustrated about things that aren't really a big deal, or something else that you notice in yourself, that take the time to notice that and reflect on the fact that that might mean that you aren't making the best decisions in your investing as well. So I would encourage you to pull back on your expectations for what you can accomplish. Respect the fact that you might not be making great decisions, and good luck. No called strikes, so don't swing if you don't know that you're going to hit it. But if you can hit it, hit it. Anyway, good luck, everybody. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.